views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
You are listening to the Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Julia Griffin. To master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Once you walked in a forest of splendor in which everything you did and everything you thought was aligned. It is possible at this time to begin to return to the old knowledge. Intuitive healer and manifester Julia Griffin is here to talk about this unique time in history when all sentient beings, animals, plants, trees, and the earth are intent on creating this change. The wolves awakened her to the most incredible light, which opened gifts and brought knowledge that she longs to share. You are creators, and you are born to be creators of beauty, possibility, and joy. Join Julia on a journey into a beautiful and magical world where amazing possibilities exist. Let us help open the door. The Power of Inspiration and Awakening with Julia Griffin starts right now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julia Griffin, and you're listening to The Power of Inspiration and Awakening on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with us for the next hour, and let us help you experience a higher vibration in a new state of mind. So welcome to the show. I'm excited about today's show because we're going to talk about finding out more about who you truly are, your true self, and how to manifest from this place. And the last segment, we'll actually do a group meditation to open some of your gifts, so plan to stay throughout the entire hour. I love talking about manifestation because it is one of the few things that changes us and changes the world. But let's start with, what time is it? It is time for everyone who is awakening to create change and to step into their power. So it's one thing to awaken and feel and radiate love and light and to have awareness. It's another thing to learn how to create with that awareness so that we create a better world. And quite frankly, the world needs all of us right now. There are two kinds of power that we use with manifestation. The first one is the inner power, the part that you're aware of already if you're listening. It comes from contemplating the divine and learning to feel and hear the inner self. The other kind of power is the kind of change that comes from taking action, even very small actions that are in alignment with our intent, our intuition, and our inner self. To create this kind of change, you have to really connect. So what is the connection? The connection is wanting a connection with the universe through your inner self. It's wanting to feel more emotion. As you move into awareness and awakening, you will feel more emotion. If you're working on manifestation, you can fine-tune that. You can find out why you feel a specific way and what you can do about it. You also become much more aware of the natural world. And that's really important. On the topic of the natural world, the new moon appears on Friday, August 30th. I've worked with the moon for years with gardening, and I've worked with the signs and the different cycles. And I found that even though everyone says, let's plan your life for the next month on the new moon, it's actually better to do that a couple of days later. Because if you plant anything in the garden on the new moon, plants that grow above the surface, things that grow below, like garlic, they do absolutely nothing for at least a month. So, of course, I asked the wolves about this, and this is what they told me. The new moon is the time of the void. It's when we absorb energy from the unknown. We might think about that as like going out in the universe in the night sky and absorbing energy from the night. And then as that energy of the unknown comes in, we illuminate it with our own light, and it helps us on our journey. It helps us with self-discovery. It helps us with finding out who we are. So our journey is always part of our evolution. It always involves learning new skills, opening our gifts, putting together past lessons, and learning in a new way. If you're awakening, you already have the gift of manifestation. And I'm going to tell you a few ways that it's needed right now. We need people who can see nature as whole, who can stop the things that are going on in the world that hurt nature. We do that, first of all, by believing that we're more powerful than what's going on. There are more of us than there are of them. We have light on our side. We have the power of our hearts on our side. We're seeing the national parks stay in wholeness. We're seeing industry produce just as much, but without all the pollution, without all the growth, and without hurting the world. We're seeing all the very valuable and precious animals as safe. We're seeing all the healing plants that are hidden as safe. We're seeing you as safe and protected. We're seeing you as creating abundance and using it in the right way to support things that are wonderful, to support human beings who do things in a beautiful, original way. We're seeing the vibration of our heart lift us all into a place that we're living on a vibration of love, so that problems begin to resolve themselves, so that the interconnection between all of us starts to make a huge difference in the world, so that the right information for our personal growth comes to us, and so that this vibration of love gives us courage and carries us all on our path. It's wonderful to be awake, but it's much more wonderful to create. The interesting thing about it is that when you create for the world in a positive sense, when you create for other people from a place of love in your heart, you receive much more energy than you had before. And it moves you on the journey of your soul. So let me explain that. I think we've talked before about how all of us are on a specific point on the timeline, the continuum of time and space. Let's say that we pick a new location for ourselves, all right now, why not do it? And we're moving into a future that's more supportive. Everything around us brings in more love, more peace, more security within ourselves, more light, more gifts to share. So that's in a different space. So when we think about that space, when we think about that life, we're actually sending particles of energy to that point in time and space. When we accumulate enough energy, or we see it intensely enough, or we hit a day when a lot of people are aligned with love, and I believe that happened right around the Lion's Gate, the frequency of the earth went way up. When we hit that, everything becomes easier. So I recommend seeing that. I recommend thinking about what it would be like if we were all in this place of higher vibrations, and it was easier to create. So how can you start with yourself? Well, when do you feel the happiest, the most peaceful, and the most grounded in your body? Move to that. See, if you have a scenario where everything is beautiful, and you're feeling that peace, and you're with people who quietly love you, that you're simply connected with, pull in that energy. Notice how present you become when you do that. I'll give you an example When I was a child, it was always nature, the woods, the trees, the sky, the plants, the flowers, the berries, that gave me the greatest joy. I also loved and raised wild animals the entire time I was growing up because they could read my heart, and they gave me a feeling of intense peace. I always knew what the animals felt, but I couldn't hear them in words. So one of the things that I always wished for was to hear animals in words. And I probably thought about that for 10 years, every single day, as funny as that is when I was with animals or in the woods. As I became more spiritual, as I meditated more, as I brought more light in, that was exactly what happened in my life. And not only did I hear animals talk, but I met creatures that helped me with manifesting. So according to the wolves, we should all be working on abundance that we use in the right way to create joy, to help others, and to play forward the good things in the world. We should be with people who radiate love and help us, and we should ask for the right path for our life. The right path for our life is always going to be a spiritual path that awakens our gifts and helps the world in general. And you don't have to know what that is. You just begin with that. So let's just start with, if you could manifest one thing, and you could feel the beauty and the wonder of the universe at the same time, what would that be for you? And how does it feel when you're in a space and the things that you want start to flow into you? It's always a higher vibration. It's often this feeling of sort of being in the void, like we're talking about with a new moon. And it's always like a wonderful surprise and gift. So when many of us join together, as we are now, and we dive into the secrets of our heart, many things happen that couldn't happen without your energy. When you personally learn how to manifest abundance in an easier way, when you fall in love with life, when you see that there's a drought somewhere and you see it raining and it does, or when you simply become present and become totally yourself, the entire planet changes. It improves. You are so needed at this point in time. So we've been talking about finding our inner self, the feeling of that, and manifesting in some different ways. When we come back, we'll look at some more wolf techniques, how you can create more abundance, how you can use manifestation more easily. So let's go to break now.
Are you tired of being tired? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Did you know the adrenal glands, the workhorse of the body? They are the means by which you position yourself in life for whatever comes your way. Tiny but mighty, producing hormones the body uses to promote energy and vitality. These adrenals determine how you respond to stress, and when depleted, the body loses its ability to function powerfully when we need it most. The much-needed adrenaline or epinephrine is not available for emergency situations. Cortisone and cortisol, the longer-acting anti-stress adrenal hormones, can also become depleted due to the pace of our everyday lives. We overwork and undernutrition, our most powerful ally that helps us to live the lives we desire. We are able to determine the optimum function of the adrenals and put your system back in balance. Contact us today to feel powerfully energized at 888-777-4232 or visit us at maryjanemack.com.
Hi, I'm Laura Meeks, and the most common problem that my clients face is all work and no play. This is why I created Fly High Living. I help you develop a balanced life plan and guide you to a place where you love to wake up in the morning.
Call 888-666-1570 or go to flyhighliving.com to sign up for the 4-week Flight Plan for Life course.
What is holding you back from living the life you are meant to live? Why is it vital to believe in something bigger than yourself? Are you in physical or emotional pain? Tune in monthly to Vibrant Purposeful Living. Awaken the vibrant life within you with Lou Paradise and Dr. Pat on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Lou's passion is to help everyone experience positive solutions for life. Find out more about Lou with Vibrant Purposeful Living at LouParadise.com.
Despite all efforts, is your pursuit of emotional freedom not going so well? Are you still stressed and anxious? It must be getting harder and harder to work on these issues. Meet Dr. Friedman. His breakthrough seminar may be the solution you have been looking for. It provides you with the insights and tools to reopen lines of inner communication, address deeper subconscious roots of your challenges, and discover how self-compassion can truly quiet your fear.
What medicine and research taught me is that we have all unlimited potential to heal, grow, and thrive.
So learn more at drfriedman.com. That's drfriedman.com. And tune in to Dr. Friedman's Empowerment Radio every first and third Thursday at 9 a.m. for even more ways to live your life with courage, integrity, and trust in your own counsel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julia Griffin at OneTrueSelf.com, ONETrueSelf.com, and you're listening to The Power of Inspiration and Awakening on Transformation Talk Radio, where you can experience a higher vibration and a new state of mind. We're talking about wolves and learning about how the world needs you to manifest. So, first of all, I think that I should say this is a really important time on an evolutionary level. Some people say that it's like winning the lottery just to be here, even though it's not always easy. But it doesn't happen very often that the entire world or a large group of people begin to wake up at the same time. After you wake up, one of the most powerful points in life occurs when you realize you can manifest a better life. That so many limitations in life are in your head, your memories, your emotions, or your physical habits. That's your first real taste of freedom, is the inkling or the knowing that they can be changed. Every big manifestation opens the door to soul evolution, and it helps us overcome resistance. Well, what's resistance? And that's part of what's keeping you from your desire or your manifestation. But it's actually the habitual patterns that hold you in place and may even seem like home because they're so familiar. On this note, it's why many people reincarnate together as families, friends, a couple. It's because it's familiar and they're trying to work out old patterns. At this specific time, many of us are rewriting soul contracts, which is why we reincarnate together, and deciding who takes us to a higher level, who is our real soul family, and who do we need distance from. That's just one of the many, many things that's going on right now. However, manifestation helps you get through all of it. On the positive side, many of us have reincarnated for this moment in time when many people awaken, because it's also an opportunity for group manifestation. I want to make a point on this. There were 5 or 6 wolves in my life that have reincarnated with me during every lifetime that I had an awakening, or I went through a lot of initiations of the soul. So for those of you who wonder about it, Our animals definitely reincarnate with us. So let's go back to resistance because it's important. First of all, we overcome it by knowing it's there. What am I saying about knowing that it's there? Okay, let's say that there's something that I really want, but I just say, I think I should vacuum or write my newsletter next, and I need to call my friend. We haven't had lunch in forever. Something in me is pushing me away from that realization. Let's just call it energy. It can come from past life karma. It can come from childhood experiences. It can come from habits. But whenever we have a desire, as I said, we're fixing our minds on a new point in time. We get to a desired manifestation through heightened awareness. Knowing we're in resistance, obviously I observe myself, right? Knowing when we're moving into that flow of new life. Because manifestation is always the flow of new life. Anytime you touch your heart, like when I'm talking about the wolves, my heart opens. When I think about the beauty of nature or someone I love, my heart opens. That propels me into life, into the strands of light and love. When we do that, we're moving out of group consciousness, mass group consciousness, and into higher consciousness. So that's expansion. That's life force. We start by paying attention to when we're connected to the flow of life. If I sit on the porch and meditate right now, the birds will change how they're singing when I hit a certain point in my meditation. The trees will move differently. The sky will turn a slightly different color. I didn't notice all this at first. The more you work on your manifestation, the more you meditate, the more signs and the more awareness you'll have. When you're in resistance, the first thing you can do is to observe it. And this is sort of a funny little image that I made up for myself because I have to work with my own resistance every day, just like everyone else. If I move into resistance and I say not now, later, I'm putting energy in the bank of negativity. If I decide to hold a positive visual and believe I can do something, or flow my energy into it because I know that's what my inner self wants me to do right now, I'm putting energy or money in the bank of positivity. Both accrue interest. Where do you want to put your money, your time, your energy? Every time you change, even for a moment, that you believe things could be different, or you hold your visual, you're putting your energy in the bank of positivity. You know when you're doing it because there's this really neat, cool blast of energy. And you kind of go like, wow, I'm doing it. You know you're creating. You know you're creating happiness and joy. You're letting the inner part of yourself speak. One of the interesting things to me about wolves is they definitely categorized people. I'm not going to say that they're judgmental. I'm going to say that they categorized according to the laws of the pack. So they saw energy in people as either aligned with the inner self or not. Either there was some awareness of who you are and what you were supposed to be doing, or there wasn't. They judged people's abilities on how well they could visualize and how connected they were to their heart. And they did this cool thing. They knew how to send waves to make desirable things align. So let's talk about that for a second. How do you have cool waves of energy to make things align? Interesting question, right? So let's just say that we were going to flow into a specific reality. All right, let's say we're going for a hike and we're going to have a picnic on a mountain because that sounds fun. And then we can go swimming in a spring on the way down. So there's a line of events here, right? We would have to set a time, a day. We would have to go in a car. We would have to have food. We would have to have on the right clothes. We would ascend up the mountain. And then we would see ourselves coming back. And hopefully when we were in the car, everything would seem really happy, right? So the flow, we would go through all those pictures super fast, like watching a scene. And we would put all that together with a wave of energy from our inner self. And then let go. The interesting thing about doing this as opposed to just doing something is that the visualization and practicing it seems to make events come out so much better. So I would advise using this with anything that feels difficult for you. And I also want to share a few wolf tips. If you're listening to this, you can definitely manifest. There's a part of you that knows how. Witness the inner dialogue or the funny emotions when they come through. Just say, okay, look at what I'm doing. At least I can watch it. See yourself getting through that part of the day. In other words, when you're witnessing the inner dialogue, it's either going to be associated with a time of the day, a specific task, or an interaction with a person. So know that is when that happens. Just by simply knowing that, you can rewrite it with visualization. When you feel your fear or resistance, name it. Like I'll say, I always feel afraid when I do this. Then you send light and love to the part of yourself that is feeling the fear or creating the fear. Because that part of you needs light, right? Or you wouldn't feel it. Ask for the presence of your inner self. The moment that you feel the presence of your inner self, you're completely present. You can't feel the fear. And start telling yourself, there is a part of me that absolutely knows how to do this, and I am going to get there. And know that when you do this, you're working on getting to the point of easy manifestation, of more joy in your life, and of more harmony in your life. So we've been talking about moving through resistance, identifying the inner self, and learning how to tap into the energy of the inner self to create on a daily basis. When we come back, we'll look at how you can use these tools and ideas to improve your life. Let's go to break now.
Learn and explore fascinating and practical uses of essential oils, how to use them, and how they can enhance your everyday life. The Oil Lounge was founded by 3 remarkable women with fascinating stories about how essential oils changed their lives. Tina and Laura from The Karmic Path have joined forces to educate the masses in the benefits of Young Living essential oils. For more information, visit theoillounge.com.
Have you ever wondered if there's a way to heal the deep, hidden inner issues, wounds, beliefs, and traumas? The journey into spiritual healing engages people in all areas of their lives to heal themselves and others. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Dr. Jaffe brings conversations of healing of body, mind, and spirit as he merges the excellence of traditional medicine with the beauty of spiritual healing. For more information about Dr. Jaffe, this show, and his work, visit drjaffemd.com.
Are you ready to shift your current beliefs about death, from debilitating pain and loss? Follow Angie Corbett-Kuiper as she shares that through choice, present moment awareness, and keeping an open mind that anything is possible, even in death. Tune in to Beyond Proof Radio with Angie, redefining death and loss, every first and third Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more, visit AngieCorbettKuiper.com.
Are you ready to branch out? Take a leap of faith. Then tune in to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills on TransformationTalkRadio.com every second and fourth Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific to equip, empower, and enlighten yourself. Erica will energize and excite you to power up your passionate dream that sets your soul on fire. So, get fearlessly ready and get powerfully rooted in your yes to live it up, love it up, and let it go. Visit GetRootedRadio.com.
Golden Otter Divinations Radio, where the metaphysical meets the mainstream with Autumn Seibel. Tune in the first Friday every month at 9 a.m. Pacific as Autumn, educator, health coach, and medium, explores metaphysical and mainstream strategies on how to elevate your level of conscious living. Draw in the abundance that is yours by divine right. For more information about working with Autumn, visit goldenotter.us. That's golden like the precious metal and otter like the precious animal.us.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julia Griffin at OneTrueSelf.com, ONETrueSelf.com, and you're listening to The Power of Inspiration and Awakening on Transformation Talk Radio, where you can experience a higher vibration in a new state of mind. We're talking about our ability to manifest as individuals and a group, and how this is a state that follows awakening. We just talked a little bit about overcoming resistance. That's the part of us that doesn't want the change that we really want. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about how we can make manifestation happen more quickly. The first thing to know about this is that there is a quantum field. We all know people who have experienced miracles or instantaneous change. Usually for us as human beings, we have to work on a manifestation and make changes as it goes through. And as we perfect the part of ourselves that wants the change. We can make things happen more quickly, as I said earlier, by seeing it as a visual that we're going through the steps, we're at the end of the process, and we're happy, and we're healthy, and everything feels good. Another way that we do that is by knowing that the universe wants you to have it, and by moving out there more deeply in the universe where those waves exist. And those are indeed the waves that the wolves can channel and channeled through me. All human beings can send waves that lift things into higher frequencies. If you start asking for this and you start sending it through your life, through the world, and to other people, you may be surprised at what happens. Now, before you start working on that, I'm going to say, notice your feeling, notice your visual, because this is an important part of creating. However you feel when you're visualizing has a big part to do with how it works out. So I'll give you two really obvious examples. One of those is we've all seen someone who is in a needy state or lives in a needy state and truly needs abundance. They may manifest a lot of abundance, but it may not change their worry about it. I think we saw there were a lot of people like that after the Great Depression, which we're all into abundance, so we want to experience that. As just an example. Or we see someone who really wants to meet the love of their life, but they're not capable at that point of overcoming their insecurity about it. They're anxious about love. They're always trying to make the other person happy. Some of their soul growth is sacrificed through that. So you want to be in a place that you know that the universe is doing it for you, coming through you, and you feel very peaceful. Because in that place you can overcome these other emotions. So sharp visual, positive emotions, knowing it will work. It also helps to ask for it now. Why does that help? Because there's a part of us that always has a little bit of resistance or isn't sure it completely wants to change or labels it as later. We don't want label. We don't want to label it as later. We want really exciting things to happen now. We want to wake up tomorrow and feel surprised because the whole world is moving in a better direction. So one thing that's fun to do with that is to imagine that tomorrow we're all waking up and we're feeling the world move in that better direction. And let's just say, that we are and 1,000 people around us are all getting so much more abundance. When we wake up, we have so much more energy. We know everything is going in the right direction. Now, they say that if just 3% of the population in the world meditated, this stuff would all happen instantly. So we're not up to 3%, but let's do our part, folks. Let's see what we can do. I bet we'll be really surprised if we start working with that. So here's another way of manifesting, and I think all of us have felt this at least once. That's that when we are so deeply in a place of love, or we're so connected with the heart that everything just falls into place. I think all of us have had that at least once. You fall in love with someone and all of life is suddenly beautiful. Or you fall in love with something that's working in your life. And there's so much love that there's quantum change. So let's do this. Let's go to our heart space for a second. Let's just draw a circle on our chest. And let's feel how much the universe loves us. Or feel how nature loves us. Or our children, or our loved ones, or the planet itself, or the wolves, or whatever you can tap into, your pet. Feel that love coming into your heart space, opening up the bottom 3 chakras so you can feel the earth. Because right now it's very important that we feel the earth. And then opening up those upper chakras so we can see the invisible world or energy, and more of our life is about an energetic read as opposed to the shared vision of mass consciousness. So we can speak our heart's truth through our throat chakra. And we can open our crown chakra to feel the divine. We'll feel those lower chakras at the same time. It's sort of like 2 triangles. As above, so below. As below, so above. Those 2 forces are always coming together in us. And they move into our hearts with wholeness and love. So this was one of the changes that happened for me, and I know it can happen for you too, because it's part of spiritual transformation. The wolves loved me so much. I knew there were good things about me, but they saw my soul qualities, and they loved me for them, and it completely changed how I saw myself. And I think if we can keep going with love, we can keep using light, and all of us can do it, we'll all suddenly become aware of our soul qualities. And when you do that, there's really no ego with it. It's just simply knowing that you have something that works and wanting to share it and wanting to learn how to create more with it so you can help yourself and others in the world. That's how the spiritual path works. And it's how joy creates life. I know that when we're connected with the universe, we know and experience many things that are possible, but usually are not. Sometimes we do things that are out of alignment with who we think we are. Once when I was in Franklin, North Carolina with my friend Liz, she brought 3 of the wolves, and we were walking them, and there was this fountain by the library, And they all jumped in and started barking and laughing and splashing and sort of pulled me in with them. And as I laughed, like 9 or 10 more people got in the fountain. And it was one of those moments when everything was light, everything was beautiful, everything was spontaneous. And to me, that is the world we're creating now. So we've been talking about the inner self, how we feel it, how we find it, the importance of manifestation and your role in it. When we come back, we'll look at how you can use these things to improve your life too, or go to a higher point of consciousness. Let's go to break now.
Are you your story? Or can you change your story? Can you change what you believe to be true about yourself and your circumstances as part of your healing journey? What if you were to change your expectations? What if you were to invite ease and cooperation into every day and then step back and see what happens? It might just be easier. I'm Megan Edge, and I hope that you'll join me on my new radio show, Playing on the Edge, Radical Change with Ease, with my co-host Dr. Pat on Transformation Talk Radio. I look forward to seeing you there.
Want to find out more about Megan Edge? Visit her website at meganedge.ca.
People often ask, what does it mean to thrive? On Thrive by Jen Radio, it means body confidence, mind fulfillment, and soul synchronicity. Create synchronicity with God and learn as Jen shares action steps and real stories that will inspire you to be unstoppable in fulfilling your purpose. Tune in live each Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit JenniferZellup.com to thrive with Jen.
Are you ready to finally feel empowered and knowledgeable in your political stance? Let Marcia Padilla-Goad educate you on exactly how important grassroots advocacy is in a relatable way to all parties and all perspectives. Tune in to Grassroots Advocacy Radio with Marcia every first Tuesday of the month at 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more, visit DynamicsInPublicAffairs.com.
Are you ready to create a life you'll really love? Then you'll want to tune in to the hit show Life Design Radio, From Adversity to Awesome with Susan DiLorenzo, live each month on TransformationTalkRadio.com. No matter where you are in your adversity story, Life Design Radio has got you covered. Get ready to feel inspired, enlightened, and motivated. For more information about working with Susan, visit SusanDiLorenzo.com.
We're back on, and I'm Julia Griffin with the Power of Inspiration and Awakening show, where you can experience a higher vibration and a new state of mind. I'm going to talk just a little bit more about manifestation, then we're going to have a visual journey with the wolves. So let's go over some basic things. You are the person who is needed if we're going to have a change on this planet. And you need to work on manifestation and love, and we all do, because that is a force that can truly change things. So what should we visualize? My favorite thing that I like to do is called correct the landscape. Whenever I see something that I feel like isn't in alignment or could have more harmony, I correct it. I walk through Walmart and see people in better clothes with money in their pockets. I see homeless people with homes. I see more trees. When I read about the Amazon forest, I start imagining and sending light to all the forest all over the world. Everyone I see, I try to see things a little better for them. You can do it for yourself, your pets, your friends, your loved ones. You can also visualize a more desirable future for yourself, because you need that energy to go deeply into this work. It is not selfish. Improve what is in your life now. Make it better, make it easier, make it more comfortable, and then do it again. It's part of personal evolution, and it's how you discover your gifts. We are all going to go up and down emotionally. There are many forces in this new age that take us up and down on the waves of life. Keep thinking about your heart. Keep asking to return to a peaceful place and to live in the emotion of love. Surprisingly, that simple statement does work, particularly with the visualization. So, we've talked about the serious stuff. Let's do our dreaming with wolves technique again, and this time we're going to use it to open our inner gifts. So let's go to the forest where all wolves dream. It's a primeval forest that we all know and a part of our mind. There are dreamscapes that we all share. You have been there before. Your soul knows this place. Go to this place in your mind. I begin by seeing the trees and the tops of the trees. And in a little while, if you let yourself really be there, the wolves will come. You've known these wolves in other lives. Once they lived with you and you ran free and wild with them under the moon. Your body knows this. Let your body remember this. Look around. We're in a vast forest. The trees are huge. They have never been touched by man. They are from a different time and place. They are reminiscent of cedars or hemlocks, but they are neither. They are trees that live in this special place, the place of the wolves. You can come here only if you are invited. The wolves are calling you because I have asked. Feel this place. Look around and see that the earth is clean and pure, and the sky is clear blue. The sky will darken as the wolves come. It will turn into twilight, and we will travel into the half-world, a space and time which you will come to know. Feel the earth beneath your feet. The earth is warm, and the debris on the forest floor is cool and clean. There is moss in damp places and around the edge of the trees. Feel its softness. There are also rocks beneath the forest floor. Feel their strength. Let your feet and legs feel the rocks, the hard and soft places of the forest floor. Your feet know how to guide you through the night. The sky is darkening its purple blue. As the stars rise, you hear the wolves howl. You see a waxing crescent moon beginning to rise. See the moon. The wolves are beginning to howl. You can hear and feel your wolves. This pack of wolves is your own, unlike anyone else's. Feel them. Feel the pull of their power. Soon they will be with you. The first wolf comes to you. It is large and beautiful. See if you get a name. And now feel your body change in the presence of the wolf. Remember how it feels when you run, how that can feel like flying, what it's like when you are incredibly strong. The forest that you're in sits on a long, wide ledge. Walk out to the edge with the wolves. More wolves are coming. See the valley below? See mountains and the moon? Now all the wolves are howling. Let the vibrations of their howls travel through you. The wolves look at you. Feel the power of their consciousness moving into you. Feel the warmth of their love, how they want you to grow, how they care about you. Feel their immense power focused on you. Feel their energy grounding you and opening your gifts. Feel your gifts. Just let your awareness hold that. Now hear the wolves howl. Thank them for opening your gifts. Feel the click of consciousness as you take them into you. Thank the wolves and come back. So feel how the gifts of your soul are a bit different from what you normally feel. Feel how we're being asked to manifest not only for ourselves, but for the world. Notice, as we've been talking throughout this class, how you can project visuals. In other words, we can take a visual of what we want to have happen and put it on top of a lower vibrational event that's happening in our world. We can say, no, I don't want this to happen in my world. I'm going to change it. I'm going to see it differently. You can imagine that you're meeting wolves. You can imagine that suddenly everything in your life is just so much easier. What was hard to do before is easy now. The wave of higher consciousness that we may be feeling now, maybe we'll feel that 10 times as strongly tomorrow. This is a method of lifting your thoughts and lifting your consciousness up with love. So how do you do that on a regular basis? You call in the universe. Say, universe, I want something bigger than this. You're perfect. You know everything. Lead me into expansion. Give me visuals and feelings. Give me more intuitions and signs. Now, one thing that I do with signs is that I ask that I receive them 3 or 4 times and that they're very obvious. And you want to call on the higher forces of light to do that. Higher forces of light, please give me a sign. If you're having difficulty doing something, know that there's a part of you that already knows how to get through it. And that you can determine yourself to align with that. And know that at this really special time, the entire world is trying to help you. All the good things in the world, all the beauty in nature, all the angels above, all of these things are on your side. And a lot of it is just simply about tapping into the world that you want to experience. That's how we get there. Do you have the power? Sure you do. You know, I do this show, other people talk, other people do things, so that you will remember, so that you'll get that hint of consciousness that takes you to the next level. And when you have those insights, of course you want more. Of course you want to feel better. And so you can ask for that. Universe, bring more energy into my life to take me into this place. Now, something about you. You're already awake to some degree. You have more power than you think. Through meditation and positive visuals, you can change your world. You can change the world around you. You only need connection, belief, and practice. So I'm going to ask you to please join me in creating a better world through your inner self. And that's where we all start. That's where all these magical things that are in life come from. It's that intent. So I want to thank you for tuning into the Power of Inspiration and Awakening show, where you can experience a higher vibration and a new state of mind. Please join me on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of every month at 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central, and 9 a.m. Pacific. When we talk again, we'll talk about how we expand our consciousness to really bring more magic and more joy and more beauty into the world. Thank you so much for being with me. Have a great week, and I'll see you back in 2 weeks.
Thank you for listening to the Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Julia Griffin to master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Join us next time as Julia takes us deeper into the memory of the moments of light where transcendence and enlightenment emerge. The memory of the jewel of consciousness is always lived within you to tap into waves of energy and create huge changes by imagining the beauty of the vision and desires that are hidden in the heart. Learn to find your way back to nature, beauty, and your own heart, which holds the secrets of your existence and future. To discover more about Julia's adventures, animal communication, and the teachings she brings to every show, visit OneTrueSelf.com. That's OneTrueSelf.com. That's ONE, TrueSelf.com.